This is from Nick talking about, bad lawyers.
Efforts, we find them insufficient, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. At the beginning of our case, like those vague things start coming because our lawyers weren't doing anything. I got criticized for objecting in court, and it's because I was screaming at my lawyer off the mic to object, and she wouldn't, and she should have.
Nick, I'm like, you brought it up before. Nick's like, I'm not well versed in this children's stuff. And your first move when you jumped up on the mic was to start getting out in front of some bullshit thing about the kids testing positive, which, once again, was really sussy. Like, what did that get you? Remember, that's admissible in criminal court. And here's something I try to tell people. If your attorney's doing something, they're generally doing it because they have a fucking idea of what the fuck they're doing. Okay? They generally have an idea of what they're doing. Oh, my lawyers are awful. Really? Is it, or you don't know what they're doing? And I mean, like Nick even admits it. He doesn't have a lot of courtroom experience in general. So it's like, how the fuck do you know what they're doing, man? Doctors are the worst patients and lawyers are the worst clients. It's very true. Very true.
Didn't. Bad lawyers, fuck you. And when your kids are on the line, man, you can't afford them. But anyway, our lawyers weren't doing anything at the beginning of the case. And so the government kept saying...
I mean, you don't think your lawyer was in there just putting the fucking screws to... I mean, I read through that. Dawn Weber, she did a fucking adequate job. I found nothing there she did wrong. Other than let you run your fucking mouth. She did a very good job questioning the guardian ad litem. She did a very good job questioning Alicia Sweep. And it's funny because Nick's going to go back to that saying, oh, and she fucking burned Alicia Sweep down. It's like, I thought you said they're fucking awful. I mean, part of this is a good lawyer is not going to do everything you want to fucking do the way you want it done. And I'm sure Nick had shit he wanted done, but they're like, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm doing it my way. And what I always try to explain to people is, I represent you, and I'm here to protect your interest. But I decide how I protect those interests. And I use a great example. We're going to go eat lunch. You're hanging out at the park, and I pull up, and I'm like, hey, man, you want some lunch? I'll go. It's on me. What do you want? It's your birthday. You get to pick anywhere in town you want to eat. Let's say you want Taco Bell. I promise I will go to Taco Bell. I promise I'll get you that Crunchwrap Supreme meal with a Baja Blast Mountain Dew. Personally, I don't like Baja Blast. It's fucking nasty. I will go there and get that for you, and I will bring it back to you. Now, I get to choose the route of how I drive to Taco Bell. I choose how fast I'm going to drive. I choose which Taco Bell in town I go to. I might go to the one right next to the park. I might go to the one across town. But I promise I'm going to bring you hot Taco Bell back for your lunch on your birthday. I promise you that, because that's what I have to do. But I get to call the shots. I'll win you the Super Bowl, but I call the plays. So this idea of him, shitting all over this lady, like, she did a decent fucking job. Like, I think the thing with Nick is, like, you guys have your Fifth Amendment issues, so your hands are tied and their hands are tied. The agency and the GAL, their hands are tied because your hands are tied, and then your attorney's like, what the fuck do you want her to do? Where you expect her to walk in there and just pull out her dick and slap Alicia Sweep in the face and be like, you're a perjurer. I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's not even narcissists. It's people who just don't understand it. Narcissists, sure, but people who just don't understand what's going on are micromanagers. And it's okay not to understand what's going on. But don't turn I don't understand what's going on into, these guys fucking sucked. It's like, I doubt they sucked. I bet these are established attorneys who have been doing this for well over a decade at least. And the court usually, like, they don't have any problems being in the court with them. But anyways, let's go to it.
There were things we had to do, and they had never told us what those things were. We're like, we are trying to do everything. People make a big deal out of another thing that I mentioned it's in the transcripts. The day that Alicia Sweep came to my house, I had called them 10 times that morning because I wanted them to come out and inspect the house. We knew they needed to come inspect the house. I'd called them, please, please come out. I left messages. I left voicemails on her and another worker's phones, just trying to get a hold of someone. We were never served a document. We were never.
Once again, calling them 10 times doesn't sound like that makes you sound like a crazy person. Call them once or twice. Like, you know, like you gotta be, remember guys, part of everything is you have to remember, and do I look like that guy? And remember, if you're calling them every 10 seconds, like, oh my God, why won't you answer the phone? Pick up! Like, you're going to come across as the crazy person. You've got to be calm. Calm. You got to, you know, you're going to act, Nick, if you're going to come in here and be the swinging dick lawyer, man, steady. Steady. Got to have that fucking ice water going through your veins. Now's not the time for panic. You know, now's not you're in the middle of the fight. It's not the time to pray. It's not the time to be afraid. You can do that afterwards.
Served a document. We didn't even know we had hearings until the day of, because they didn't give us the information. The internet had information before we did in our cases.
Now, I will say, given the whole Memorial Day thing, I could see that being an issue. The Memorial, that's a problem in courts when a ex parte removal of children from a home happens on a weekend, especially when it's on a holiday weekend and the parents were in jail and just got released. I could see that being an issue. I could see that part being an issue. But we'll see. I mean, generally, though, they go out of the way to make sure you know what's going on.
We're scrambling to try and figure things out, what we need to do. So I'm calling these people, just desperately trying to get them on the phone. They never returned a phone call, not one time. And then they showed up at our house. People are like, why are you calling them 10 times? Dude, they have my kids. They had my children. Of course I'm calling them. I want them back. I want to get them back in their home. I'm trying desperately to get the workers out to do it. And they don't.
You're not their only concern. You're not their only fucking concern. You're not the only case they got. I'm just saying, you're not the only case they have. And once again, do you want to sit there and go, oh my God, answer the phone, fucking April, oh my God, holy shit. I mean, because that's what it looks like to them. I mean, to all of us, what does it sound like? Oh my God, please answer the phone, oh my God. Like, you know, like you have to be a little like, once again, you gotta be like, you know, like you're on an airplane, it's on fire. Are you just going to go, ah! Or are you going to be like, I got to get to the exit? You got to have a fucking clear mind. You got to be calm. You got to be a fucking ice cube. I mean, you have to be calm. Because now, like, think about it. Just think about it from this aspect. They already think you're doing coke. They think you're doing fucking shitloads of drugs in your house. They think you're neglecting the shit out of your kids. And now you're calling them and acting like a fucking spasmatron. This is where, once again, you have to think, gee, how is that going to make me look? It's going to make you look like a fucking crazy person. And then when they show up to your house and they're trying to get into a room, and you're like, no, you can't come in here. No girls allowed. Well, except for these two girls. But not you. Like, now you're doing all the crazy person shit. Like, you have to do this the right way, chat. Remember, this shit is all sales. You have to convince them, no, we're safe and calm and great and groovy. And to be fair, I also say this, Nick, they took fucking drugs out of your house. Like, what do we have to do? You're going to have to convince them you're not doing drugs and the house is safe and there's no more drugs in the home. I mean, yeah, there's going to be some like little bits of minutia in the case plan. But for example, like if there was a person who gets caught beating the shit out of their kids, part of that's going to be you're going to have to demonstrate the kids can be safe in that home. But if there's drugs in that house, well, you have to show there's no more drugs. Like, this is not, like, we're not flying the fucking space shuttle, man. There's stuff you could figure out. I know it. You're smart. You're not retarded. You're not like some of this dumb white trash sitting in a trailer like, I don't understand what I can't do.
And my lawyers didn't do anything. We got new lawyers. Our new lawyers.
What did you want your lawyers to do, Nick? Your guy's house was like a fucking refugee camp, it sounds like. You got caught with a shitload of coke. Like, what did you want them to do? Did you want them to walk into Children's Services office, stick a gun to Alicia Sweet's head and be like, you know, agree to get the kids up or we'll kill it? It's like, okay, I'll sign off. Like, what did you want to happen? Like, what do you want to see happen here? Like, this idea they're just going to walk in and start fucking mowing everybody down and you walk out of court like, court's adjourned. Otto says, seen the video. No, I haven't seen the video. I've listened to the fucking, we read the testimony of Alicia Sweet. The house is a fucking mess. You can't even walk around in it in spots. But that's the point. It's like, what did you want them to do, Nick? They did a very good job so far. I have not seen anything they didn't do right. Even the dogs are agreeing.
Got the government to just define what we needed to do. Wow, new lawyers plus me spurging out.
They literally said what you had to do. Safety plan. Drug test. Acknowledging how things got into the home. Those are the big things. Chemical use assessments. Home visits. Like, we literally just went through that with his fucking appointed attorney and the guardian ad fucking litem. And we also went through it earlier this week with the fucking lady from Children's Services. We just fucking did that. I know we fucking did it because we fucking read it. Really? Oh, I didn't know what we had to fucking do. You knew on June 6th what you had to fucking do. But I mean, holy shit, you paid an attorney, some guy who fucking, how much money did he charge you for that? I mean, holy shit, dude. You either had an attorney that was going to be free or you were going to have to pay at a reduced cost. And you're like, no, I want to fucking spend more money. I could read the goddamn transcript and go, all right, I guess that's what I can do. I'm looking at all these pages right now. 11 and a half pages of what you have to do from the guardian litem. And then right here, I've got the Alicia Sweep one. 30 fucking pages. 30 fucking pages. 30 fucking pages of what needs to be done. I mean, really, come on now. Come on now. Like, it's there. It's all there, man. Uncivil Law says, sup, Coke friends. Me and my Coke fiends. Hey, Kurt, how you doing? Kurt over at Uncivil Law, guys.
Once we got the government to define what they wanted from us, it was easy. But they didn't do it at first. They didn't want to. They didn't have to.
They did it at first.
Have your kids. What do you do? Beg.
All the things you did that caused your kids to get taken away, you don't do them. As much as Josh Moon hates Russell Greer right now for fucking around on the thing, it's literally you undo all the things that you did that caused your kids to be taken away. You literally just like throw a fucking reverse card down. Whatever it was you're doing, don't do that thing. Do the other thing.
Please tell us what to do. Please come to our house. Please do these things. Please let us just fucking show you.
They tried to, but you wouldn't show them. Trying to get you guys to clean your fucking countertops was apparently like trying to write fucking haikus in Sanskrit. You know, how the coke get in here? How do you know there are even drugs in the house? Like, you want to show, like, what were you trying to show? Just saying, guys.
But they don't return your call. What do you do? Call again.
I mean, hold on now. Like, what are they supposed to do? Like, you know what you need to do. You had drugs in your home. Like, if let's say I'm an attorney and you call, well, I am an attorney. One of you calls me and I'm sitting here tomorrow morning. I'm talking to 2.0 and I get a call saying, hey, are you Sean Barton, the attorney? Yeah. I was like, yep, I am. And you call me and say, hey, look, my kids just got taken from the home. I just spent the night in jail. I just got out. I know that I haven't been able to get hold of children's services. What do I need to do? And I'll ask you, what happened? Why did the kids get taken out of the home? Oh, well, they found a bunch of coke in the house. And I'm like, we're using coke? No. I'm like, okay. We'll address that. We'll get to that denial later. Is the house clean? No. Clean the house. Clean the house. Decontaminate the house. Where was the cocaine found? Decontaminate that area. Children's Service is going to want to come by. You're going to have to let them inspect the home. I said, you're going to have to undo all the things that are wrong in your house right now. This isn't hard. This isn't hard. There's a lot of stuff you can work on. Aquanet says, so you believe everything CPS is truthful? Well, what am I going to... I'm going to ask the guy, well, why did they take your kids out of the house? What happened? If you tell me, oh, nothing happened, nothing's wrong, it's like, okay, well, somebody's fucking lying. But remember, like in this situation, we have a lot of information on our own. We have a lot of information on our own that Nick has been using drugs. So, no, I'm not taking them at their word. I'm saying, wow, I've seen things, and their information confirms it. So this is a very different situation. Yeah, so my choices are believing CPS and the guy in the house with a whole ounce of coke. Yeah. That's a Shame says, Nick is right about that. Everyone should be certified as CPS. It's a scourge on the American people, and the more people know about it, the better. Sure. The problem is, people like Nick are why CPS was invented in the first place. So yes, CPS does a lot of nasty shit, but for people like Nick, that's what they're meant for. I mean, that's the problem here. Nick wasn't a nice boy who didn't do nothing wrong.